Hey, I'm Marcus and I'm playing Crusader Kings 3. And today we will play him. This is Jarl Toke of Westerland. He is now in his early 30s and he's been prepared to take over the role as Jarl from a very early age. And so he has been trained in administration, he has been trained in military matters, and these are the things that concern him most. You will see what kind of path that leads him to. When we talk about his traits or his personality, he is a just person. I think that's most of all what defines him. He believes that there is a solemn right. Whatever that right is, we will have to see. And maybe that's also up to his definition in the end. But he believes that there is like a common law that basically works for everyone, right? And that law obviously involves the church, right? There's God's law, but there's also the law of men. And that law needs to be expanded, protected, and it needs to be enacted in the harshest way possible, because he's also vengeful, right? He does all these things not with a calculated mind. He is emotional when it comes to this, and when it comes to the appliance of law, then he definitely is on the side of the harshest punishment possible. Right? So let's see how we will do this in the game. But that is the, I think, his viewpoint. Like he would deal harsh punishment, but not gratuitously though. So we will not see him torturing people, right? That's not his thing. He is not into torturing at all, right? That's for me the kind of distinction between being vengeful and being sadistic. He's not sadistic. He does not take pleasure, I think, in dishing out punishment, but he is, he wants the law, God's law, the law of men, his law, to be paramount, and he will work towards that. I think that Toke sees himself as a protector, right? Someone who who likely will also be aggressive. We know that just like his father, he is not a patient person. He does not wait for things to happen. And he will very likely be proactive in his protectionism. Like he will do things before he thinks they could get worse, right? So if he sees a trend or something, then he will go against it. If he thinks that this will hurt either his dynasty, his family, or even Denmark as a whole, because he very much, like his father, and I think it's part of his family, feels this kind of integration into what is Denmark, also because he is actually, through his mother, through his grandfather, and through his great-grandmother Astrid, a part of the Danish royal line. I mean, probably people would not see it that way, or the Astrids would not see it that way, because, he's not directly coming from the line of King Sven II, right, who was ruling in the very beginning in 1066. He's not stemming from that line directly, but rather through the brother of King Sven II, and then through a daughter of that brother. So maybe for the reigning royal line, that line is a bit diluted, that path. But he would not think so, right? He bears the mark of distinction, that is being a Hvide. And we do see here on his chest, he is wearing the cross. Let's just go in there, right down here you see it. He's bearing the cross just like his father did, a reminder that he has been to Jerusalem, that he is a crusader, unlike, basically anyone else in Denmark. Well, people on his court, obviously, But yeah, they were the only ones participating in the crusade from Denmark, and they won it. Right? He was there with his father to storm the gates of Jerusalem. So, yeah, I think there's a sense of entitlement in his case also. Way more than than Skjalm would have felt it, his father, because he believes that he is already a part of this nobility. He is part of it. He is an important man inside of Denmark. Unlike his father, he does not think that he has to prove that. And yeah, bearing all of this in mind, right? This will be our character now. He will be different from what we've experienced with Skjalm. And yeah, can't wait to see how that will play out. So, before we do anything, just again, let's take a look at him. Right, we already talked about his traits. He had been a rowdy in his youth, and I have this mod that lets you keep these childhood traits because I think it's quite funny to see how that maybe develops. And we see that being a rowdy, you know, that kind of mischievous energy and so on. But that's how we see his emotional side too. So there is that part of him still, but I think it's definitely overshadowed by his stern ambitions of being just, right, and enforcing the law and so on. He's a tough soldier. He is, as we do see, not like a brilliant strategist or anything, but he's very capable as a commander, and he has learned that, you know, on the crusade and on other occasions. He's a hunter, of course. He is trained to being a marshal. He has served in that position on his father's court for years. He's a winter soldier, right? So effective in fighting in the winter. Crusade, of course. And he's even, been on tournaments. We know that he won 3rd place in the Norwegian tournament a few years ago. And another thing that we can, I think, directly look into is his lifestyle. And for me, there's, at this point in time, really only one way to go. And that is, of course, going into the martial direction. And we do see here that he's already having perks in the overseer path. And that just makes total sense, right? He is an authoritarian. He serves the crown. We've established that. But he's a hard ruler and strict organization, right? That makes so much sense. And of course, the middle one here, the authority focus. To rule is to make all the aspects of a realm move in unison and work together. Yes, right? That's him. So we will see here that we will get more control growth. That's great for us, actually. He gets some dread gain as well. He already has some dread from being this serving the crown guy who's like not flinching to enact violence on people if they don't serve the crown. So he's currently at 0 dread, but we will see that it will go up to 25. Okay, I guess that will not be the end of it, and he might actually get more base dread at some point through traits and all. Right. Okay, so that we've established now who Toke is. Let's now have a look into the bigger picture, like what's currently going on. And just staying in Denmark, we know that King Eric is our king. He does not have a very what you would call in German a Hausmacht. Like, he does not have that much personal resources. His seat is on the island of Hvide. And that is his only direct domain. This island, this small little island here. So everyone else here is his vassal, and he's relying on these vassals greatly, right? We do see that he has, when it comes to his own military, he does have Wigman, Bondi, he even has some Huskarl. So the military is there. And when it comes to the levies, he's relying on his vassals to provide him with levies. So that is our king. Then we have the important players in the realm, which is of course Jarl Skjalm, the timid, who is also our brother-in-law, right? So we are actually yeah, he's our brother-in-law in several senses. He's also like, okay, let's go back, because his sister, there we go, his sister Ingeborg, or his youngest sister Ingeborg, he has another sister that's called Ingeborg, who was also the same traits, so that's a bit confusing. But his sister Ingeborg is our wife, and she has, yeah, more or less like 5 children already, 4 sons, right? So our line is very, very secure at this point, which is great. And but that's not all, right? So his Sven's son Asa is married to our sister Sigrid. His second daughter Bodil is married to our brother Asa. So we have lots and lots of dynastic connections with the Thrugot dynasty. And we do see, for good reason, he is powerful. He is really, really powerful. Not the person to enact this, like being craven, not being the best commander, someone who likes to administer his realm, but not not necessarily fighting for it. And we do see that since he's so powerful, he's at this point in time not willing to enter an alliance with us. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. Like he's allied to the king. He's already allied to our brother, right? And he does not want to be allied with us. Oh, I think that irks us. That irks us greatly. That is unjust. That is just unjust behavior from him. So no, we do not appreciate that. We do not accept that at all. And we, I think, yeah, he does not have, he doesn't have paranoia or anything, right? But he's in that way of knowing that alliances, aid each other, and you can go into conflict and so on. I think he will have that in the back of his head and keeping in mind in the future. Then we have, of course, the biggest landholder in Denmark, and that is Jarl Benedict. Oh, you can see, by the way, I've overwritten the titles, and I was trying to figure this out for ages. Like in the early medieval era, you did not have dukes and counts and anything in Denmark. You had jarls, and then there were like low-level local chieftains, and they were called hersiers or høvdings. But he he's a count, right, in game terms, but he would have been called a jarl at his time, and we are a duke in game terms, but we also would have been called a jarl at this time. There's no distinction between titles here, right? There's not such a strict hierarchy. So I've overwritten this for the time being, said that either if you're a duke or a count, you're a jarl in any case, right? So now we have a bunch of jarls sitting around here. And I will change this, of course. In time, the Danish feudal administration will adopt some ways from the Holy Roman Empire, or the Roman Empire as it was called at the time, like their setup of having dukes, herzöge, and then below that a level of what they would call counts. You would see something similar evolving in Denmark, but I think that's not the correct point in time here to do this. Let's for now, let's call people jarls. And there's another thing, and that comes back also to his sense of justice. There is no female form of jarl necessarily, so I had to do a workaround. So when Liv here is owning Hvide and Sjælland, she is now a jarlfru. Right? That term does not exist. I kind of came up with it because, what else would you do? So she's a female jarl. That's basically what that says. And but let's keep that in mind too. Like he is not. He definitely he knows he wants justice to prevail, and having a female ruler for him is not justice. Sorry to say, I'm being medieval. Okay, coming back to Prince Benedict. Yeah, massive landowner. We know that he has murdered his own family to achieve this. That's why our father had him excommunicated. Of course, he did not do that himself. He persuaded the Pope to do this, and there was not much persuasion needed, of course. He's now in poor health, and he has just one son. That's a bit concerning, right? Because then his whole... yeah, all of this will just fall to one person again. And we will definitely have to see how that will work out with him here. With Lasse. But right now he's still there. And just like his father hated him, I think Toke hates Jarl Benedict too. And with a vengeance. Right? So he definitely would go against Jarl Benedict if he so had the opportunity to do so. Let's see if there are direct opportunities and if we can act on them. Now, coming back to the broader realm, we see that the Holy Roman Empire is quite stable, although fighting an internal war currently that they're about to win. Right, so if we look into it, 4,000 attackers, 16,000 defenders. That's not going to last long. Very stable in general in Europe, right? We have big kingdoms. Poland is becoming a bigger and bigger kingdom. We have even Lithuania as a Catholic kingdom now. We know that the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire, is large and keeps on growing, much to the detriment of our brother, King Bully down here, who has to fight against, invaders from the Byzantine Empire. Not the there he is, not the emperor himself, but rather the administrators in this region here. They are definitely trying to get their piece of the cake, restoring, right, what they believe are the rightful lands down here that belong to their empire. And then in the north we still have King Magnus. We see now he's infirm and poor health, so maybe not around for that long. Of the Yngling dynasty, and his heir is currently not of the Yngling dynasty. So that is interesting. So you have a shift in power up here. And now, for the biggest thing that I saw, we have King Eirikr of Sweden. That's Eric. And he is in poor health now. Is like feeling unwell. That tells you that someone tries to assassinate him. He's also a murderer. Like, he has murdered people, and not just one person. You see here, 1, 2, 3. He kills people left and right, and he is in fact a conqueror. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the introduction of conqueror, I should say. That has been a thing since the last update. Because it's obviously very disruptive, and it's meant to be disruptive, right? That's the sole purpose of this trait. Like you see here, it gives you a big increase in tax. I don't know where it's coming from though. And your men-at-arms just cost you nothing, and you can create titles for nothing. You gain legitimacy for nothing, and you will get armies. People will come to your court for claims, and your vassals will just do as you bid. Like, this is basically God mode, right? So King Eric here is on God mode, and he's obviously enforcing it. Like, he's currently waging a war up here, conquering the Sami people. But who says that is going to be his only endeavor? He might as well look south, right? That is likely going to happen. Once he's done here, maybe we'll go for Finland. Would be historically accurate for Sweden to go to try to conquer Finland. But what's going to stop him if he sets his eyes on Denmark? And we do see that our good Jarlfru, our Princess Liv, is actually married to someone from the Swedish royal line, House Stenkeling. And that, I think, to Toke is deeply concerning. Deeply concerning. Their children will be of House Stenkeling, and that will mean that lands inside of Denmark will be ruled by someone from the Swedish noble line. Right? Giving them a reason to invade. Why not take it all? I think that will be one of the first concerns that Toke has, and we will get back to that later. Now, there's so much we need to do, and I'm already at like 20 minutes in. Maybe this whole episode will just be doing administration and doing things, but bear with me. I hope it at least is to some degree entertaining. My cat is playing again, and I did listen to the recording the other day, and it was quite audible, the way she was jumping up and down on that little bag I had lying on the floor. I put the bag away, so maybe now it's quieter. Anyways, okay, let's return here. So knowing this, right, we are... I mean, the realm itself is relatively stable, I think, right? So there's only really people from this area here, from our area, that are trying to go against the king. No one going against us currently. That might as well change in a moment. But yeah, King Eric's rule is stable. But being this impatient nature here, I think he's not waiting until things are happening, right? What happens actually when he's dead, when Prince Björn will take over, or when indeed Liv gives birth to Stenkeling children that are now inheriting the seat of power of Denmark. That's not going to work for him. There we go. I wanted to have a look into... let's see, what can we do first? Yeah, maybe let's go through the people at his court and his personal relationships, because we do see that he does have some relationships with people at the court, and he has made friends, especially among the knights, right? So here's Joachim. He was a former knight who's now, I guess, obviously we keep him at court. He might still have his ways of making himself useful, but then on the other hand, we also owe him a bit of gratitude, like he was also a crusader, distinguished person. So we'll keep him around, and Toke is actually his friend, right? So you'll definitely keep him around. He's a friend with Gudmar, our lustful, acclaimed knight. And probably, like, he's a bit lazy. But I think he knows what to expect from Gudmar. So he knows where to keep him and what to use him for. And I don't think he will put any other big... responsibilities on him, knowing that he's not very capable of overseeing them. There we have Serkvir, and he is our friend too. And I think that should mean something for us. Right now I'm looking into my funds and thinking, hey, I need to definitely have this funeral for my father. That's going to be one of the first things I will do. But in the future I will definitely look into ennobling Serkvir. In our mind, he has deserved that. Not only is he our friend, he was a fellow crusader, and we know that, coming back to relationships, our rival, Thorfinn, he was ennobled by our father. That's something we probably saw as, maybe not the right thing to do. And on the other hand, we think that Serkvir is deserving of that. Coming back to Rangvi, she's also his friend. And, I'm not thinking again about ennobling her for the reasons that I've already mentioned last time. And they all, they count for Toke all the more, given his sense of kind of justice and the law. Because she's a woman, she's not meant to be in that position. She's kind of acting out. She's not doing what she's supposed to do, we are alright with this. She's even our friend, and she will definitely stay in this position. But we are not going to, nurture this, right? We're not going to put her in a higher position and ennoble her. We already established that she would not marry, or she would not even want to marry. She's too old for that now anyway. And I think, again, she's probably happy in this position. She's doing what she wanted to do all her life, right? And now we come to medieval misogyny again, right? Oh, trying to have a comparison with our modern world. She has hit the glass ceiling. she definitely has hit the glass ceiling. There's not much that she can do from there on out. Then again, I'm not... Yeah, she is ambitious, is she? Yeah, maybe she would want a bit more. But, there again, yeah. Could have had more, maybe, being a wife to a nobleman. But she chose this path. That is me talking like the character, by the way, right? Not me as the person. I'm not a misogynist myself. Or maybe like everyone else is, unconsciously, but not proactively. not intentionally. Anyways, okay, so here we go. Here's our good Jarl Toke, and he has knights. We do have the possibility here to create another accolade, and I think this is a perfect occasion for us to already give our friend Cirqueer some distinction. And we do see here that he is actually a good archer. That's great for us, because we do have archers here at home, Wigman. And yeah, he's also a tactician. I think that works great with what we would like to do. So that would be his, his hallmarks. He will look into training our archers, working to even expand at some point, even if we reach that famous stage of 3, the third stage of the accolade, then we will be able to raise retinue archers. They have to do here 35-20 compared to our Wigmen now, who have 26-36. Oh, they're actually quite good when it comes to that toughness. Let's keep that in mind. But retinue archers definitely sound good for us. Yeah, the game always makes these random names here first among office bearers. Don't think that's very prestigious. And I've already looked into what kind of name I could give this. I like this kind of little alliteration thing, right? We have Den Röde Ritter. And so I looked into what an archer is in Danish, and that is a skytte. And now he's the Den standhafte skytte. There we go. There he is. Right, so standhaft meaning steadfast. The steadfast archer. I think that's quite a good name for this. Oh, always do this thing when I see other YouTubers stumbling over this, where you have to press enter here and then create the accolade, because if you just enter the name and create the accolade, it would still keep the name it had before. I don't know, I don't think that's good UI design. Paradox. Do better. There we go. So he's then standhafte skytte. There we are. Yeah, and again, coming back to our knights, we see that we do have less ability to keep that much of a big host of knights now. Yeah, that's definitely something our father was into, right? That's not our means. We look more into this, authoritative thing. Like, we would probably use more men from court to work in administration, and so on, and not being in this warrior sense. But we do have a lot of people in here that are well equipped for this position. Of course, we will keep our brother as well in here. Yeah, there are some people down here that I'm not really sure what happened. Like this guy, Farthane, who is not of our religion. He's an Asatru man. Like, he believes in the old gods. Of course, he's a berserker, poet and stuff. Good. Would be nice to keep around, but he is unwilling to go against his religion and convert. So right here, right now, I don't see any choice. I will have to dismiss him. Right? He's not welcome at our court if he if he is, if he continues to believe in the old gods and does not, perform right in the Christian way. And here we have Thorfinn, and he's our rival. Again, I think he would want to do the same thing, right? Dismissing him from court. But then again, that would be unjust. There's no reason, or no active reason here for doing this. But there are, of course, means we can do, and that is one of our means to show him where he's at, is to have him, or forbid him to participate in any kind of courtly role. And one of them would be being a knight. He is not right now anyway, but he might be, depending on what's happening with the knights we currently have, but we will actively forbid him from this. We do not want him as a knight. We do not want him in our armies to fight alongside us, and we do not want to give him any other role at court. So that's something to look out for. I think the thing that he would like to do would be to challenge him to a fight. We do see that Craven is such a big blocker here, right? To a degree that it irks me, because, whenever someone is Craven, they will just not accept it. It's like, there's nothing you can do, mate, right? You want to fight and you want to duel, but they just don't want to. They're like, no, I don't feel like it. So it's not going to happen. So, boo that. I think that's about the knights. And just very, very quickly, we have this weapon here, right? Oh, I think we need to talk about the weird artifacts that he had at some point, but we'll come back to this. But this sword here, the Pomorian sword, and I think that's not a name that he would like to keep, or that maybe even the father used. It was just the name is derived from its origin, right? So it was bought when his father Skjalm was traveling to the Eastern Baltic, where he was participating in a tournament, and there he bought that sword, so that's where it came from. But we will rename this. And I think swords are always good to kind of give an outlook into what you are wanting to achieve with it. Like, why are you wielding it? And given what the Hvide have done so far, and then again factoring in the origin of this blade, I would like to call it Hedningerens, and that is heathens, Bane. So it's the heathen's bane, Hedningerens Bane. Right? That's what this sword is all about. Crushing the heathens. Right. As long as I'm in here, I'm going to do something that I think fits very well with the way that Skjalm handled his succession, with how he brought his sons up, and what he would have told them. Right now we are owning both the Hedersringen and the Kriegerensringen. And I think one of them we should give to our brother. Right? I think that's just consequential, because that is what the father would have wanted. And if Skjalm wanted this, then Toke would honor this. This would not, that's not something that he would question. He's not greedy at all, and he probably likes his brother, and wants to see him do well. Let's see. Okay, so if we give him Kriegerensringen, we lose yet another knight, and we only have 6. That's not that good. On the other hand, the Hedersringen, man-at-arms maintenance goes down a little. Knight effectiveness goes up a little bit. I think we will actually keep the Hedersringen. I think we will keep this one. It was the first ring that his father won. I think we will keep that one. So unequip this one here. And go to our brother. And actually gift him that stupid foxtail. The Kriegerensringen. That is now our brother's. There we are. Coming back to these, okay, he has this lucky rabbit's paw. that he got from his father, and that stupid ancient plaque. I don't know what to do with these things. It's likely that we will give them to other people. I mean, at this point in time, maybe we would just keep the lucky rabbit's paw, because that was something that the father has also kept, right, by his side. He would have maybe worn this at his belt. Yeah, let's just keep it. We do see down here that we have a crown. Toke has decorated Corolla, and it gives him some diplomacy at least. And of course, we would want to wear this, but it's kind of like breaking down. So we should remind ourselves that we should, repair it at some point. We see the 38 gold to repair it. That's not too much, and I think, yeah, this is worth doing. We will see what we will do with the ancient plaque and the fox tail. I don't know where he got that one from. The tail of a fox hunted by Toke and Forbassa. Alright, he was at a hunt, and there we go. He killed a fox, cut off the tail. I don't know what he's doing with it. Maybe we will just give them away as gifts to people. I will see. I don't need to act on this now, but this is, for now the setup that we have in our artifacts. So we've gone through knights. Let's look into our council. So we do see here that the position of steward is open because we were the steward. At least for the past months, since our uncle died. And yeah, there is kind of, how do we do this? How do we tackle this? Because when we look into who would be a good steward, we do see that, both our brother and then the bishop here, come back to him in a second, not the best ones in this, right? 9 is average. And while he is still average, he might grow into becoming better, but Anton is currently our marshal. But then, let's just do a switcheroo, put him in this position here. But now the position of marshal is open. And for me, again, this is something that's only logical. He's not only the best in this, he's our friend and we trust him. Right? So we put Cirkvir in this position. Because as we will see, he needs to do important work. Now, we have Dagmar as our spy master, but we can see that she's infirm. She has done good work for our father. Maybe if it was to us, we would not have put a woman in this position. We are not as arbitrary as our father was. And we believe in law and everything. So that at the time means putting men in positions of power. But yeah, right now she's infirm. She's probably not able to do it that well, or her job that well anymore. And when we look into this, we would see that, they're not too bad at this. But there's not much room to grow. And we see that Asa has other ways in which he's good. So I think what I will do is to put our trusted Kare, who's been trusted by our father, and he's also trusted by us, into this important position. There we go. There he is. Now he's wearing the bone thingy here. Looks good on you, Kare. And so finally, for a chancellor, we will ask our brother to do this. Right, that is what he's best at. He is a charismatic negotiator. He's good in diplomacy. That's what he could do best. There we are. So now coming back to what these people are doing. We promoting the culture in Rügen. Yes, definitely. Our father was a bit like, let's see. Don't want to meddle with this too much. For me, I think it's a yes, definitely. We want to make sure that the people on this island are following our cultural ways. And we don't like it that our king is forbidding us to promote, to do this openly. Like, we can do it still, right? We're currently doing this per holding. So we are here in Rügen directly on the island. And yeah, let's see how this will go. But then we do see that we have some still some loss in control in here, right? I think if this was directly our domain, we would be good because we do have all these positive modifiers for this. But our brother doesn't, and he is now the ruler here. So bad luck, tough luck. But then even more importantly, oh, no, not him, but his domain. Look at this. There's no control whatsoever. And yeah, there's a lack of sheriffs. There's no tax at all. I think we cannot allow for this. And we do see that, or we do think that the Prince Bishop here has failed to a degree. That being said, we could actually revoke his title. We do see that comes with a big cost. Right? That would obviously go against the church. Because he is, after all, a man of the clergy. It's still something to keep in mind. And, oh yeah, coming back to the council just to do this quickly. Law would dictate that since he's, yeah, furthest in the hierarchy, he would go into this position here. But we will send our Circvier, our trusted friend and marshal here to uphold the law and force the law. Right? That is I think what it means when the marshal goes in there to increase control. They are not nice. They are not kindly asking people to submit. They are making them submit. And for us that's very okay. That's very, very okay. Okay. There we are. Let me just check what we are doing. Apart from that. Oh yeah. Part of this is our youngest brother here, who is even younger than our firstborn son. You know, he's Matthias. He's the gift of God, what his father called him. And he is currently being trained by Dagmar because he is into courtly intrigue as well. Now, yeah, might still be an okay choice, but again, she's infirm. To me, that does not only mean physical things, but probably also mental things as well. And she's older and stuff. And we know that Carter has been good at training. And yeah, since I think it's always better to have someone in active duty who does this, we would... oh no, right, he already has... Oh, he has our son. Right, yeah, our son is already learning with him. So we do see that he's already entrusted with this. But I would like to have him... how do I... Oh, yeah. I need to go here and say remove Guardian. There we go. And not us. There we go. Kade will also see to the upbringing of our brother Matthias. There we are. See, we're one bit, piece by piece, we are doing this. I have a long list, but we are getting to it. We are progressing. So again, Asser has now become our brother. Asser is now our chancellor. He's got the Kriegerinnen, and the other thing that our father wanted, and that we will do as too, is there we go, asking him for a formal alliance. Right now he is actually our vassal. I think that's something he does not like. But we will formally have him as an ally, just to make sure also that he will not backstab, right, in any kind of way. And we know that he is allied to our brother-in-law, the Jarl of Jylland, Jarl Sven. And yeah, we just want to make sure that he stays in line, right? He does what he's supposed to do. We like him, but then there is a clear distinction between us and him, right? And we know this. That is something I wanted to do. Oh yes, and then there is our aunt, the Jarlfru Margrethe. And we know that we are standing to inherit her lands through our mother. Right? She is going to inherit, and then we are going to inherit. And I think, he wants to make sure that this stays that way, and she is not facing any danger. So in that case, we would come to her defense. And of course, she does have a capable army. Right? She does have a very capable army, and that would, yeah, be great for us too. So let's negotiate an alliance here. There we go. Now, I've had a look around, and I think our Stig is now at that age where he could be betrothed. 12. I've used the arrange introduction before. I'm actually not sure if that is something that Toke would actually do or allow. I think for him, this whole kind of thing that his father did, where he was like, yeah, look for a good match, but also like with people like each other and so on. I don't think that that is necessarily what he would do or what he would prioritize in any way. He would look for the best match that is out there in terms of power, in terms of an alliance. And the best match that I think is out there is, and let's see if she's already here in that list. Whoop. So, yeah, there she is. Benedikte Egilsdatter af Bornholm. Look at how pretty she is also. She is, at this point in time, and yeah, probably, maybe, likely staying that way, the heir to the Jarldom of Bornholm, right? So she will become Jarlfru of Bornholm. And again, in our mind, that would not be the right thing to do. So if she was married to Stig, they would have children. They would be of the Hvide House Hvide. And that would mean, yeah, for us, yeah, I don't know, not in game terms, but in medieval terms, that Stig would be the de facto ruler, right? So he would then make decisions for his wife that would have happened in the real medieval times. Obviously not in the game, but we can at least keep this as headcanon. So that would be something he would like to arrange for. And we do see that Jarl Egil is willing. He is actually in poor health. He's not a good eater. He's not eating his peas. Go eat your peas, Jarl Egil. But he's in poor health, so he would be, and it says here, right, when we look into the, where is it, the acceptance, he desires, right? I think he's desperate. I think at this point in time he's desperate to make sure that, yeah, his legacy kind of is continuing, and to have his lands, if he only has daughters, he wants his lands to be in proper hands. We respect that, and we think that the Hvide are the right ones. Absolutely the right ones to go here. Now, we do see that they are related, and there is a 0.2 risk percent of them, of their children being inbred. That's of course very, very low. 0.2 is not really that much. But I told you in the very beginning in the first episode that I wanted to take this seriously. Like, medieval times, especially in the early and high medieval era, it's starting to get diluted in the late medieval era, and then it goes all bonkers in the early modern times, you know, the Habsburgs and stuff. But at this point in time, the church would have a large say in this matter, and they would be the ones to sanction this. And they looked deeply into if people were related or not, and even like if they were related in the second degree or anything, third degree. And so let's just check and see where these guys are coming from. And to do that, maybe let's just quickly go back to our king, because I've said before that I am related to the king. Toke is related to the king. And we see here that Jarl Egil is married to Dorrit, and she is a daughter of Prince Olaf, so brother of the king. Let's go into their dynasty quickly. And yeah, maybe I should not have put him in here directly. Oh, anyway, let's do this. So again, we are tracing us back through Kingsvend, and it says here Ulf, Ulf of Munse, but then again, that his wife was Astrid. I do think I had a better way of going into this dynastic link. Was it through him? No, it was not through him. Was it through her? Like a way to show this in a kind of better way. No, that's again going through his dynastic line. Can we go through ours possibly? Huh. I know, because yeah, let's just go back to this generation here, because it all starts with her. Maybe we can still can only go into his dynasty tree. How did I do this before? Oh, well, I had such a nice way of showing it. Stemming from Astrid and going down through the different paths. I mean, if we go up our house, then we would just see... Right, we would see just that part here and our father and so on. Maybe let's go through our mother. Maybe that would make sense. Of the same dynasty again. How did I do this before? Alright, yeah, when we do this, now we get directly to her place and not the... This game is confusing sometimes, isn't it? Like how it handles things. How? Okay, I'm confused myself now, and I'm talking here, so I don't want to just check this and like talking for about hours. Long story short, Benedicta is the third cousin of our son Stig. Right, so her mother is Dorid, her father is Prince Olaf, his father is King Sven, and his mother was Princess Astrid. Now, Princess Astrid had a son, Asbjörn. Asbjörn had a daughter, Signe. Signe, of course, has a son, Toke. And Toke has a son, Stig. So we are the same level, same generation. But our son, Stig, is, the third cousin of his daughter, Benedicta. Now, thinking about this and thinking like, hey, is this actually okay? Right? I came up in the end and say, yes, it is alright. Point one, the church very likely was less strict the further you get away from Italy, from Rome, and especially in Denmark. I think we've seen already that there were some marriages happening that were probably in the second degree or so. And the third degree is, I think, a reasonable stretch, right? So this King Sven and his brother, then they were cousins, then they were second cousins, so they're third cousins. I think that's distant enough. So yeah, again, long story short, let's do this. We are asking for this. There we are. There we go. There's another reason why Toke is doing this. Toke, I think, is concerned about Stig, about his behavior, about how he handles things. He's been caught lying before. We've seen that in an event. He is deceitful. I think that's a trait that Toke does not appreciate. Of course, he's like he's not for honesty and anything, right? But being deceitful means also actively going against your sincere duties, right? Even though he's just also like be, yeah. I think Stig is also a very conflicted person himself, with what direction he wants to take in life and so on. So this is our kind of way out, should we choose to at some point prefer one of our other sons over him, because then, and just again thinking that he will die and then she will inherit. I kind of going away from this now. Oh no, we have considering pros. Okay, we have done it. So this is he would then be, in our eyes, the Jarl of Bornholm, his children would be there, and so on. So he would have his domain, right? He would still inherit something. He would have something. He would be in power. And yeah, I think that in our mind is something that works out. Should we find out that he is not proper. He is not the proper person to do this job. Coming back to our kids, by the way, we have our second son, who's named Skjalm, our third son, who's named Absalon, and I said before that Absalon was this very important bishop in Danish history, also from the Hvide clan. And right now, our Absalon is into a martial education. He's showing signs of arbitrariness, whereas Skjalm is pensive. He's following a learning education. He's already, I think, the most learned man in this family. His learning of 6 being poor. But he will probably become... he will be able to fulfill this role finally, so that we have a bishop in our family. And I'm going to do something which for me is okay. And I think, again, like, was not that unusual to rename children. He will be Absalon. We will switch. We'll do switches. He will be Absalon. There we go. And he is going to be Skjalm. And I think that makes sense from another perspective as well, because he is showing traits of his grandfather Skjalm, I think. Right? Going into a similar direction, prowess and then martial and so on, with this martial education. And so, yeah, it's fitting, right, that he would be the next Skjalm. He's also learning from our friend Rangvi. That's great, right? We're going to keep it that way. So, and we're going to keep a close look on him, right? We're going to keep a very close look at him and how he develops, because he might actually be the one. Okay. Now, what else have I written down? My list is so long. Of course, we want to go for the funeral. That being said, I want to wait with the funeral until Asa is home, so that he can come back. Yeah, you do know this kind of weird mechanic where while you are on the road, you are not allowed to go anywhere else. So we have to wait for him being in his seat in Rügen in order to be able to invite him to the funeral. But of course, it's very important that he's also there, and that's why we need to wait for this. Yep. So let's keep that in the back of our minds. Is there anything else that we are currently needing to do? Of course, we will have to, at some point, pay homage. That for us is very, very important, right? Being this just ruler and believing in justice, and that also means the greater hierarchy of feudalism. So he will... he will definitely go to the king, swear his homage, and again, for him that will mean that he will be loyal to the king. That is his oath of loyalty. He would only go against it, and that's where the vengeful character comes into play, if the king was behaving very unjustly. Right? If he was doing things that we really found unspeakable and could not condone in any way. But until then, we will be very loyal to our king. Of course, we could also petition him, but that would be, something for another day. We definitely want to bury the father, but we have to wait until, I think our brother is home. So maybe for now, I guess what we could do is holding court. Though, let me think about it. I think that he would hold court once he has paid homage, because then he would be properly he would be properly made a Jarl in the name of the king, and that would be his way of saying, okay, now I'm able to hold court. So maybe let's just, while our brother is on the road, let's be on the road too and pay homage first. I don't think there's anything proactive we need to do here. We do not need to prove ourselves in any way. We've already established that, right? We are good enough. We are more than good enough to be a vassal of the king. So there we go. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, the whole air situation. We will look at that at some point. So let's just go. Let's just go to the king. Oh, of course, Sarah is still here in this position. Oh yes. There are whispers about the tales and deeds of my father. Exalted among men, Jarl Skjalm, everywhere I go. Near or far, it seems there is nobody who has not heard his name. Yeah, true. I wonder, will I always stay in the shadow of my father, or will I be able to achieve as much fame in my life as him? How high will I be able to climb? Oh, that's actually an important decision, I think. That's an important decision. One day I will be like you, or I am glad to have such a famous father. That this would mean that, yeah, he is content. He's content with, yeah, his his station and his relation to his father. Or this would mean that he will, yeah, definitely try to make his own mark. I'm inclined to pick the first one. He wants to make his own mark. He has his own ideas. He is not like his father in many ways. So I think he will do this. He will want to, again, distinguish himself from his father. So we have an alliance formed with our brother. Great. Alliance formed with Jarl Fru Margrethe. Great. And we have the alliance formed with Jarl Egil because the marriage is through. Great. Isn't that all great? Now we're here. And it's the usual thing where he sits his throne. And we kneel in front of him. We do the whole performance of becoming the vassal, right? And this not only has to be a performance, has not only to be a ritual, it has to be observed by all of the people that are here, right? All the powerful of the realm would be at his court. And now they're all witnessing this, and this means a lot, right? This is, yeah. And of course, in the coming years, the written word will be more and more important. But I think at this point in time, still, the visual act and the witness is what's most important. We gained some renown again, which is always nice. There we are. And we are going back. What's here? While passing through the plains of Slagelse, my court physician Sigurður is about to trip over a hidden wire trap. Oh no! But is swiftly cautioned by my Caramel Master Sarah. Oh, good of her. Right? Good thinking. Yeah. I think while he is a very stern person, I think he's appreciative of people doing good things. Oh no! First she saved his life, and now they hate each other. Oh no! My current master Sarah and my court physician Sigurður begin to argue about the best approach to traverse the treacherous trail. Oh yeah, her suggestion is reckless, and his suggestion is cowardly. Yeah, again, we will always go for the... I think he too would be someone, even if he is not brave, he doesn't have the brave trait, but he's like, again, he's impatient, and... at least he has, you know, he has some drive, he has some balls. I think he would go for this option. And the strategy pays off. Wow, okay. So, we are back home. And let's see where our brother is at. Yeah. We'll take him some time still. Let us see, you can petition the king. Oh, we can train for a tournament. Let me just check this. Activities. Oh. There is a tournament going on. Up here. Oh. We will not arrive in time. Do we also not arrive in time if we go down here? Oh yeah, that's even worse. Oh, What kind of tournament is this anyway? A board game contest. He's inviting us to a board game contest. And he's calling us, is he calling us vile? Check this again. Now we're cocky. I think a moment ago we were vile. Lenema. We will start with the board game contest. A chance to, no. You can stick your board game contest up your... Anyway, yeah. Roll the time. We are waiting for brother to get home. Is there actually something we could do here to petition? Could go for a council appointment. Could go for transfer of claim. Yeah, he will think hard about this. Like I mentioned before, Liv is now married to a Stenkeling. We do not want the Swedish to have power over Sjaland. We're on the same island. Right? And of course, he's maybe not greedy or anything, but being in power of Roskilde alone, I think he knows what that means, right? Not only from a resource point of view, but especially from all the prestige that comes with this. There is a caveat, and that is that Sjaland and the Roskilde is the seat of power of the kings of Denmark, and that not only is like a flavor thing now, but it is also something that can have a direct effect on the gameplay. Let's say that the primary heir of King Eric would not be Jarl Björn, but someone else of his family. Let's pick Prince Olaf. Right? Prince Olaf does not have any land. So, if Eric would die and Olaf would become the next king, of course he would need land. Right? In Crusader Kings 3, you cannot be a titular king, or at least, right? I think the Pope can be. Right? If the Pope is evicted from Rome, he would still be there. But that does not count for worldly kings, and so he would need land. And the land he would get in priority would be the king's land, the one that is determined as the king's seat. So, what will happen is we will be evicted then from Sjaland and have to go back. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, was nice, bye-bye. But I guess we could put this into role-playing terms, saying that would he be the owner, owner is not the correct word, right? He would probably be like some proprietor, right? He would be the one who, or the protector of this place. And he would guard it. And if there was a king who would come here and would rule, then he would step down, right? Because it's the law, right? Okay, I think we can do this. Since our brother is still on the road, I think he would actively do this. He knows that he, by right, has a claim to this land. We know that what his father did and stuff, but that was his father's politics. That is not his politics. And his father didn't know that she would marry a Stenkeling. He was doing this to prevent from aggression from Jarl Benedict, from Prince Benedict. But now there is even more aggression up here in Sweden with the conqueror king who's on the loose. We are doing this. Not going to rationalize this too much. I think it makes sense for the character. He is harsher. He does not have these emotions and feelings maybe that his father had towards Liv, where she was his own ward, and probably liked her. We do not have these qualms. A night by the campfire. Long after night is settled, I find myself laughing, telling stories and drinking with Sarah and Sigurða. There they are again, the two of them. I didn't know she had it in her, but Sarah ends up telling a particularly ribald story about her 4 peasants she had seen in Norrison. Now, I want to know the story about the 4 peasants. I'll tell a story of my own. I embellish it. No, do not need to do this. Oh, let's first throw the die. 1 to 3 and 4 to 6. It's a 1, so we tell a story of our own. Now, he's likely not going to accept this, is he? He does! Oh, King Eric. I'm escorted into King Eric's throne room, where he beckons for me to approach and address him. I deftly present the evidence of my claim to the Jarldom of Skjalm and highlight its strength over that of Jarl Liv. Yeah, both of them are very important arguments. After listening to the speech, he smiles warmly at me and states, "Absolutely, vassal. I shall dispatch my agents immediately to take care of this matter. Thank you, my liege." For him, it's an act of tyranny. For us, it isn't. Yeah, of course. Liv does not like this at all. There we go. Guys, we are now... Yeah, Roskilde now is part of our realm. Isn't that amazing? Oh, that means, yeah, we can station a Man-at-Arms regiment. Let's put our Bondi in here. They were stationed in Rügen before, but yeah, that now belongs to Asse. There we are. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. We can nominate a successor to for the election title. As I said before, he's unsure about his sons at this point in time. He is actually unsure about them. And maybe to show us that we would definitely consider him, and given the fact that he actually resides in Rügen now, and I think from a law perspective and being just, I think he realizes that being the Jarl of Venderland should somehow mean that he is also active in Venderland. And he's very much active in Skjalm now. That's where he lives, that's where he has a seat of power. He has no direct means of control over Venderland. Keep this in mind. So I think he will actually vote for his brother. There we go. At this point in time at least, right? If there was something happening, then he might change, or if his sons turn out better, or anything at all, then we will switch to them. Our court grandeur has increased for the first time. Wow. Okay, and we're back. So, I guess... Oh, he's still not there. I mean, come on. By the time he's arrived. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. We have the question of loyalty again. Ah, he's his father's son after all, is he? My wife is with child, and I should be overjoyed. However, she has been acting strange, quick to end conversations, nervous glances. She could barely look me in the eyes during dinner the other night. I just cannot shake the feeling that something is wrong. Am I really the father as she claims, or has she betrayed our union? Humph. I mean, we had this before. They were friends at some point, and then they had this kind of, argument, openly in public, and they were not friends anymore. Maybe there is some kind of suspicion that he has. Like I said, he's not paranoid or anything. Maybe let's roll the die again, and equal options here. Oh, it's a 6. I must be the father, surely. Yeah. Gives him some stress because he will keep this in mind, right? It's kind of bothering him. But at the end of the day, he does not see that there is why he should not trust his wife. No reason for him. There we go. Is he... Let's see. I forgot to have a look. Oh, yes. He is back home. Good for him. So I still get the train for tournament option, but again, it's not something I like to do when I'm not actually going to a tournament. It's not the right thing to do, I think. It's cheesing. Oh, yes, by the way, we can create the Duchy of Skjalm. Oh, let's keep that in mind. But first of all, right? And now we actually have a temple here in Nestved. But then again, I'm role-playing. This would be better, I think, for piety, yeah. So. But we know that we have built, or Skjalm has built this monastery here in Nordesund, or more precisely here near Jørlunde. And there actually is a very famous monastery that the Hvide built in this area, and it's the monastery of Søre. And yeah, so that's where he wanted to be buried, and that's what we should do, right? Burying him where he wanted to be buried, in his monastery of Søre. Yeah, obviously we don't have to travel. Let's see about the guests. The king is coming. Good. Margrethe is coming. Good. Liv is not coming. She does not like it anymore, but she's also expected not to arrive in time. As I said before, I would like to invite neighboring rulers. Right? Would make sense for me. I think there's no one coming. Boo. Extended family, yes. I mean, I do not want to invite my brother Bully, because then we have to, I don't know, wait for 2 years until we can host this. But I guess we can't, because he's outside of our diplomatic range anyway. Knights, of course. Yeah, and I guess we're good. We are mourning. Again, we are, even if we hated our father, we would mourn, because that is a proper thing to do in this case. Now we're just waiting for 30 days. King is coming. Our aunt is coming. And then we have to look into him. The mayor of Svendborg, because he would probably... Oh no, that's not our mayor. But I think we do have one now, do we? Mayor Olaf. He's not even coming. Oh yeah, he's infirm. No, we wouldn't give him any kind of position. We will get to this point where we will see that when he dies, there will be a new mayor appointed. I don't like this at all. Again, at this time, there was no such thing as independent mayors, right? There was no such thing as Bürger, right? So civilians, so people that are independent. The towns in here would have been run by a bailiff, and he would be appointed by the ruler. So yeah, let's see how we'll do this. Now I don't need to do anything. Let's just wait until he dies. So, in a quiet corner of my church, I overhear Gudmar chatting with a group of mourners. He somberly gestures me over. We all have fond memories of Jarl Skjalm. I was just talking about the time I took up the mantle of a distinguished accolade and became known among knights. Tell me, have you any memories to share? Oh, of course I have. But I think he's not remembering this correctly. Dear Gudmar, I was the one. No, I wasn't. I took Circuit in this position. Gudmar actually became an acclaimed knight under Skjalm. I'm very sorry, Gudmar. The memories are too painful. How could I forget? This is not a competition. No, this one is wrong. We definitely appreciate that he's remembering our father fondly. As we do see, this is risky, but I don't just want to go against something because it's risky. Let's roll the die again. No, but we say that the memories are too painful for us. Again, part of this performative mourning. So it would actually be crying, maybe. There we go. 3 months until it ends. 3 months of our dear father rotting away. The pleading gaze I receive from my fellow vassal, Steen, is taking on a desperate tone. Who's he? Alright, he's that mayor. A group of guests are approaching the corner he has hid in all evening, and the walls are hindering his escape. To think a mayor would act in such a way. Yeah. I'll distract the guests. No, I mean, if someone is doing not what they are supposed to do, what is just, and we are vengeful, I think that's something where we would expose him and be like, hey, come over. Tell us a joke. Do something. Oh yeah, something else that I saw. Our youngest son is called Per, that was chosen by the game. I think I would like to rename him to give him a proper Hvide name. And there is a prominent Hvide name. actually. And that is Ebbe. There we go. Now we are full Hvide. Everyone is having a Hvide name. Of all the figures venerated and villainous, none have been desired more than our departed Jarl Skjalm, with his crowd of weepers and gawkers finding other subjects to satisfy their fascination. I am at last left with a moment of solace between myself and my father. Yeah, I think this is the option to do, right? Allow myself a moment of grief, time for quiet prayer. I rolled a die again. No, it's actually a 6. I promise to be a better Jarl, and that will give us, I think, more legitimacy gain. Yes. Like we pointed this out before, we want to make our own mark. Here, enduring hardships. Oh, that one is great. Yeah, that one is great. Plague resistance plus 10, you see that here. That's going to be probably important at some point. At some point we'll get back to this and be like, oh yes, that was good. Did I just see something in here? And that was... Oh no! Oh no! Gudmar and his wife quarreled. And again! Oh no! Oh no, stop it, you two! Oh my god! Oh, and I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Oh no! Oh no! Gudmar is exposed as a sodomite. Oh no! You know, in game terms, we have a different meaning of the word nowadays, obviously. But at the time, a sodomite would be someone who engages in homosexual acts. So he has been exposed to be a sodomite. Oh no! I guess that was the final nail in the coffin for his relationships with his wife, whose name I cannot pronounce. Yeah, so he is still our friend. That is something I'm not yet sure how to act upon. Anyways, okay. We can put something into the grave with our father, right? Important ability, far too great in number to name, pass by the enshrouded body of Jarl Skjalm, granting him little more than a simple bow or a nod, as though such a gesture was sufficient to show one's reverence for a life. No, it's definitely not. My heart weighs as heavy as my pockets, so full of trinkets and memories of Skjalm. I can't help but wonder why I should get to hoard objects which rightfully belong to him. That is a weird phrasing, rightfully belong to him, because we have inherited from him. But then again, maybe there are personal objects, right? Yeah, I think the blade, obviously, yeah, will be a huge gesture. But then again, I think that's not directly a personal object. It's more of a symbol of power. It is, of course, a personal object too, but it's more of a symbol of power. I think that the same goes for that for the stag hide. But this rabbit's paw here, right? That was a personal item of his. And yeah, so I think we can put this on top of his little sarcophagus, the little paws. There you go, have your paws. Papa. Right, the shadows of mourners no longer loom over me, and I'm at last given a moment alone. What quiet comfort I could take in such a moment without the rattling and prattling of other guests in my ears. Just me and my thoughts of my father. Feels good. Feels kind of good to do this. Elizabeth tells a fantastic joke about candles. Let me hear it. I want to hear the joke about candles. I gaze upon Jarl Skjalm in quiet contemplation, interrupted only by the occasional well-wisher offering their sympathies. Swine! Cur! Buffoon! You dare call yourself Jarl? My sister Sigrid hurls herself towards me, furious finger waving inches from my face. Our father had designs for me to rule in his place, villain! Oh, wow. Wow. That is... Wow, that's such a ballsy move of her. Of course, she's brave, and I think Skjalm would have liked it. And I don't know, she may even be right. Maybe in some of his last days, you know, she came to court specifically to be there for him And maybe that was also something that she was vying for. Maybe getting the father in a position where he would actually think about this. But of course he didn't, and he planned on passing his power on to his sons. But I think it's so fitting for Sigrid's character to go against her older brother now. Maybe not only because she thinks that this is actually what she wants or what her father wanted, but I guess because she is very much mourning. She is heartbroken right now. Her father is dead, and he was the defining person in her life. From our perspective, from Toke's perspective, this, of course, is totally unacceptable behavior. Totally unacceptable. Our sister cannot do this. So, yeah, I think there's no other thing that we could do here. Saying that we don't care. No. We do care greatly. We care greatly about what she just did. She will become our rival. Let me just pause here, because she did have a position at court, I think, under our father, and that was the position of court chronicler. Will immediately revoke that position, right? You do not get to be, you do not get to be our member, trusted member at court. Oh, our wet nurse is actually not good at doing her job. Probably because she is currently ill, right? Again, I do not do this lightly, exchanging someone. So I will leave her in that position for now. But yeah, that's I mean, for me, the logical thing to do. Now, the other thing would be, should we actually do something like this? Disinherit her, denounce her? Something to think about, really. That is something to think about. Yeah. She is still part of our court, and I think we cannot dismiss her because she's close family. Maybe it's also, you know, this old saying of keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. Maybe that's actually good that she's at our court and not back at the court of her father-in-law, where she could scheme against us, turning him against us, possibly. No, it's probably good that she's here. It is probably good that she's with us at this point. But yeah, like we did with our other rival, Thorfinn, we will make sure that she, she's not in any position of power. And that she would be isolated at court. I think this is, of course, this is going to be dangerous, right? We will trust our spy master greatly from now on, because, yeah, we know what happens when you have rivals. What kind of meat is this? So rich in flavor. What are these vegetables? Almost sweet. Oh, and all these wonderful little desserts. I think, yeah, he's having like, let's have a party now. All this morning and all these kind of stressful things. Yeah, okay. Oh, he has his life reaffirmed. Look at him. There we are. And the funeral is over. Right, the time has come to commit Skjalm's final rites before his final journey into the hereafter. Skjalm's enshrouded body is held suspended above an open grave, surrounded by close friends and family. Stood at his head is you, a privileged place of mourning afforded only to a magnanimous host. To see him surrounded by so many mourners and given a proper Catholic burial gives me hope that perhaps I too will remember this fondly as Jarl. At last his body is lowered into the earth and the funeral is officially completed with a prayer. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. There we go. We are known for our dedication to our faith. That's good. Finish the funeral. We can offer a hostage. No, we will not offer a hostage to Jarl Benedict. That's a death sentence. Right, here we are. And now the big question is, should we actually move our court from Jörlunde to Roskilde? I think that would show everyone else around that, hey, yeah, we are not just here to look over it, but we are actually also claiming this, right? We are now the rulers of this land. Do we do this? Maybe think about it. Do not have to do this now, but we do see now that we get quite some funds. Oh dear lord. 6 gold per month, just because of this leather hall. 2 tax per month. Yeah, we will see what we will do with our wealth. As a royal court decision here, what do we have? I find my brother Matthias sitting on the floor, surrounded by spilled paint and pieces of canvas for the 3rd time this month. My courtiers whisper about him being an artistic genius in the making, but the servants complain about scrubbing the floors free of paint in the wake of his inspirations. Useful studies, his genius will be nurtured. Yeah. Just look at it. Martial and stewardship. I think that's the only thing that Toke really values. Yeah. Do something useful. But painting is not a useful thing to do. You have monks in the monastery, and they can write their scriptures and stuff, and their books, and they can do some little paintings in there, but not you. That's just improper. Oh yes, forgot about this. We can hold court. Let's hold court now. Put our father in his grave. We have been instated by the king as Jarl. So yeah, we are the petitioners. Sitting on my throne, I gesture for my guards to open the doors of the hall. A stream of people file in. They are lining up. We know the drill by now. Gesture for the first in line to approach. What do we have here? My vassal, Prince Bishop Ingvar, hurries to my side, his bloodshot eyes searching the assembled court. My lord, I'm sure someone in the Jarldom is out to get me. I have no evidence, but I suspect Mayor Olaf. There is surely no one else who would wish harm on me. I beg you, imprison Olaf and put a stop to this madness. Mayor Olaf. Isn't Mayor Olaf this 62-year-old infirm man who's friends with the king? But he's like ancient and he's infirm. I mean, we could question him. But is that really what we would do? Malice is not a crime in itself. We're definitely not going to do this. I think we'll go either for the other options here. I mean, this one we get stressed because we are just. So, he has no evidence. Right? So why would it be unjust to say, hey, you don't have a point here? I'm not sure about this. I think the just way would be needing to have evidence. Or maybe maybe then we will do the second option. Right? Question him. Okay, let's do this. The mayor denies his involvement. I guessed as much. But now we are sure. A middle-aged man steps before me with quiet dignity before bowing deeply. Greetings, your majesty. I'm Sambor, your loyal servant. I come before you today to seek employment in your court. I am an experienced fighter, having served the local lords and garrisons of Rügen, my homeland. It would be my honor to put my talents to a greater cause in the service of my Jarl and all Venderland. I think we like the general idea of having someone from Iranian at our court. No, that's something his father would have done, right? I think Toke doesn't see any amusement in this. No, we will not make him the master of the hunt. Useful man, personal champion. No. I think this guy is lazy and gluttonous and patient. Where we are impatient, I don't think we like him very much. And we would get him to court if we liked him and maybe found a position for him, maybe as a knight, but not this way. No. I don't have vacancies for you. Hurry off. He's not dying. Oh, he did not die. This did not fulfill his purpose. My lord, I represent the religious community of Nestved. Lauritz Bedegard. While rummaging through our modest archive, we have come across a very peculiar book. The cover was dusty, the binding fragile, and the pages were yellowed by time, but it contained the most unusual drawings, and the script itself was unknown to us all. We are certain it is unique in the world, a long lost vault of knowledge, a true treasure. That's why we offer it to you. Perhaps it's the original copy of the will of God, or it's a memoir from the world's creation. He is his father's son after all. Yeah, I think with a learning of 5, I think he can barely read. Like he could probably, he can probably see his name on some of the parchments, but he's, yeah. What? A book? Don't understand this. I don't understand this at all. Yeah, so that was not that was not the most eventful court, but then again we gained some legitimacy, some court grandeur. That's good for us too. Oh, and we actually are at legitimacy level 4 now. Means we are a true ruler. Of course we are. Of course we are a true ruler. Alright, now, how do we position ourselves? What do we do? Just coming back again to this move of taking... See, she's pregnant now with a stankerling child. Coming back to this move against her, I think it was the proper way for him to do this via the king. Right? The king has sanctioned it, and that is the just way of doing this. Of course, he could have declared war against her too. Right? He could have taken these lands by force, but I think that's not what he would have done. That's maybe what he would have done in the last instance, right? If there was no other means, and if he saw that yeah, there were stankerling guys now in Roskilde, royal Swedish people in Roskilde. No. We do have another son. Oh, wow! This is our 5th son, Baggy. I think I'm running out of Hvide names. I don't think there are there Hvide names? Oh no, there is one. There is one. Sune. That's another Hvide name. There we go. Let's see, how is our son doing? How is she doing? She's not pregnant. He's still in poor health. Our wife has reduced fertility, yeah, because she's coming into that age now where giving birth is becoming more difficult. Oh no, and now she's ill! Oh, I guess, but she's still fine. Ah, I need to really sort my pins out at some point in time. There's only dead people in there. You know what? Maybe just get rid of them all at this point. There we go. King Eric, of course, stays in there. There we go. Let's see if whom we can pin that's meaningful for us. But yeah, Prince Olaf is dead. And that means that the old guard, right, the sons of King Sven II, of one of whom is King Eric, they are getting less and less. See, there's only Benedict, of course, King Eric, and then we have the monk Torgils. Yeah, we have Björn. And then Niels, who's still, I think, in Iceland. Like, he's far away. He's not even... Nobody knows about him at this point. Oh, we have great expectations. Jarlfru Ingeborg approaches me with a friendly smile. My love, have you seen how majestic our Stig is becoming? He could practically rule this nation with one hand tied behind his back. Oh, do you think so? And I swear by the Lord that he would make you very proud. She gives me a side-eye glance. Of course, if there is anything I could do in order to make the idea more enticing, I'm sure you would let me know, and we could come to some sort of agreement, my fair husband. A wry smile lingers on her lips. Anything she says? Oh, well, what are we doing here? What? What? We could have her go against our sister? What? Oh, Ingeborg will offer you a selection of skilled courtiers? I don't need anything from you. Coming back to the relationship of him and his wife, where they are not friends anymore. And yeah, he's starting to having some suspicions. And like I said, I don't think he is very fond of his firstborn steak. Yeah, because of his like deceitful nature. So and I think we don't want to owe her a favor or anything. I think I will say I don't need anything from you. No. You don't. Stop it now. Man, maybe I need to come back to the rivalries, right? He's vengeful, so he would do something about them. I mean, he could challenge her to a fight. She would accept, of course. And again, the whole men fighting women thing, right? That doesn't ring that right. A market with my friend Gudmar. I head to the market with my friend Gudmar. There we go. Don't do anything weird, man. We stop in the Lorimer Street, where I browse through the display of equine equipment, smelling the fresh leather of the new saddles and learning about new stirrup and harness designs. Yeah, that makes sense. He is Den Röde Ritter, after all, so he would know about these things. In a small paddock nearby, the refined headpieces and arched neck of a pair of horses catch my eye. What are these beauties? Asks Gudmar. I got them just a week ago, says the horse trader. They're twins. Aye. Aye. Aye, there's a fine solid build. Nice high tail. Good deep hips. I understand their sire was from Jerusalem yonder or some such. Or some such, eh? Keep leisurely perusing saddles or haggle for the horses. Oh, why not haggle for the horses? Yeah. Having a nice horse is good. Now we have dinner with him. Before heading home, we decide to stop at the nicest inn in town. The innkeeper is pleased to have our patronage and finds a secluded table for Gudmar and me. Our guards sit nearby, but give us some privacy. I'd forgotten how nice it is to simply share a meal with a good friend, without the trappings of court. Our presence, of course, piques the curiosity of the locals who murmur and keep looking in our direction. Yeah, maybe it's not the best thing to be seen alone and in public with the known sodomite. Maybe that would cause some, whispers and gossip. Nah, but we're not thinking about this. We only know him as our friend. And that kind of this emotional side again, right? That overrides this, maybe this justice thing to a degree, right? I think, are we actually able to imprison him? No, that would be tyranny. Okay, we cannot do this on the basis of him being a sodomite. No, it's okay. I forgot about this. Stop. The decorated Corolla still needs some repairing. Maybe this would also be a good point to a point. Good point to a point. We do have income now. We can actually, we can have people doing stuff. Hey. Yeah, I said before that I don't like that too much, dividing a role. That being said, if someone is good and the next person is only poor. But I would also look for a tutor, maybe. Oh, there's this guy here. Diedrich. Yeah, then he could be the court tutor. Or is that something that we do actually? Again, the learning and stuff. But I think he would know that education is important. Yeah, let's not think about it too much. We have the means now, right? We have the means, so we should act by the means. And then, yeah, put Sigurður in as the antiquarian. I don't think that will take too much of his time. He could still focus mainly on being a physician. Okay, yeah, okay. Coming back to this one here. Yeah, we need to definitely reforge this. We could also turn it into a pedestrian item. No, it's a nice little crown. I think that might be as well the headband that he's wearing here, right? So that's repaired. There we go. There we go. Anything else? Yeah, I guess we have about 15 minutes left. I'll think about it afterwards, like what other big things we could do. We don't have any claims right now. I think we are also at the at a stretch. Like we are currently, we are currently overseeing the whole of the island of Skjalm. I think what we are working towards is actually being recognized as the ruler in Skjalm. I think that is what we would be working towards. Yeah. Yep. Let's see what else is going on. Right. There is the matter of Bully. There is definitely the matter of Bully. What is the matter with him, we would say? Well, he is still the king of Jerusalem. Good for him. We do see that he has increasing trouble with the Byzantine Empire. Currently attacking. Oh, he's attacking for the Emirates of Mecca. Yes. Oh wow. Now he's going for the Muslim holy sites. Oh Jesus. He's like, too strong. Let's take it out on the other guys. Oh yeah. We have a village center. Let me just come back to this in a moment. Yeah. So the problem with Bully is that he doesn't have a wife. He's actually asexual, and that might lead to him not taking a wife. Maybe he will do so when he's older and when he realizes that he should. But at this point, maybe he's like, nah, don't really want that. Don't really want... I hate what's being expected of me. Don't want to sleep with a woman. That's not what I like. But yeah, that would still mean that we inherit, right? We are the heir actually to the kingdom of Jerusalem. Oh, and I don't know what I would do if that actually were true. Yeah, but here we have Haven being built. I actually want to rename it, but let's see about that. There's a wounded guy in here, Bille. Yeah, okay. I'm pausing here for a quick moment because now coming back to what I just said about mayors and this not being a thing at this point in time. Because what happens right now is, well, what the game is trying to tell us is that the city or the town of Haven has been established, and all the free burgers in there, not the hamburgers, but the burgers, with the H, I think, behind the G, they have voted for this guy here to represent them. And that is ahistorical. Not for 1104. This would be something to happen in the in the 13th century, but then possibly something in the 14th century here in Denmark. So at this point in time, the person who rules or governs this town would be an appointed bailiff, and that would be our job, our job to appoint. We don't just have someone come to us and say, "Hey, I'm the guy here now. You do." As I say you should. No, I think we are very much in the right to revoke this position. This guy won't like it. We don't care. Yeah, revoke that title. He's holding a grudge. Piss off. And I think we are looking for a person now in here that's actually suitable for being the bailiff. And of all the guys here, of course, there's Kare, who is, as we know, very accomplished. But we do see he's not someone to oversee something, right? So maybe we just go back to Anton, right? Maybe, yeah, I think this will give him back his wife. Alfriedr. We see that Alfriedr, she's currently aimlessly wandering around Sweden, since I think her brother, who was bishop, now is not bishop anymore. So she's aimlessly strolling around the countryside of Sweden, and now we appoint Anton in this position of... Oh yeah, it's called... I actually have renamed it, right? But it's still called mayor in the... Let's see, maybe it's now retracted when... No, he's still Mayor Anton. I might maybe change this too in the files, see how that works. So we grant him this title. His daughter is going with him. And yes! Yes, she's coming back. She is coming back. Ah, isn't that lovely? Not only do we do him a favor here or giving him an important position, we're also making sure that he is again together with his lovely, lovely mountain of a wife. Good stuff. Yes. So, this is established. This is established too right now. I would say, I would give it the benefit of the doubt, saying that, hey, whoever is the mayor here, or the bailiff, he would have been instated before, so we do not touch him. Oh, there we go. He wants us to be the off of Denmark. I'm really not sure what kind of mod is causing this. Oh, he doesn't have a marshal. Yes, we will definitely be the marshal. Of course. Of course we will. Giving us a prowess +3, army gold maintenance -15%, more levy size, and of course martial lifestyle experience. Combining this with him here +8. I think we're going to get this very fast. Oh, +35. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We are not that good of a educated man in this path. So if we were brilliant strategists, then it would be way up. Around 50, I think. There we go. Is there anything else that we could do? I guess at this point we are looking into getting some more cash. We need some more cash to invest into some things. Yeah. The part where what I was thinking about before is what do we do with the rivals? Right? That is something that I'm not that sure of. I would like to challenge to a fight. I would like to do some active things. But I think murder plots are something that he would really take as a last resort. And right now he does not see the... right, he does not need to go against them in that way. But he would want to see that they are doing something wrong, and then he can act against them. I think she has already done something wrong, right? She has insulted us. She has... she has just claimed our position, our title, actively. And in public and in front of our face. Oh, not like this at all. Not at all. I think actually we might do the challenge to fight. And that would be interesting because she might as well win. She might as well win. Let's have a look. Okay. Ebbe, who is now 4, has started to speak. Yeah, again, our children are slow. Just like I think he was. He was like walking when he was like 5 or something like that. How delightful, yeah. I think, yeah, what else? What else can you say? Like, that is not remotely enough to excite me. Oh, I did not see what he was saying. Did he say the papa, papa, papa too? Didn't see it. Mighty Pen. Picking up the padded swords for sparring match with my son Skjalm. There we go, we renamed him, right? Yeah, this is so fitting. I notice a tattered journal cast to one side. From the cover it seems to contain exercises and best practices pertaining to the martial arts. Skjalm glances in my direction. Oh, that thing. I mostly read it for the illustrations. You can borrow it. What? He's reading it? He's lying. He's not reading it. He's 8. And he is only a 1. He's not reading it. He, of course, is looking at illustrations and my martial will increase. No. I think if that's good for him, then he should have it, and we should try out these little exercises if he thinks they're great. Oh, I can actually do a lot of things. Ah, see, she was wounded. Now she's not. Now she's not poor anymore. Had a wet nurse job. Accolades lack successors. Yes, I know that. I'll look into this later. I still inherit Jerusalem. Oh, what is this? Right. There we go. Benedict has made his final power move. He is now the Jarl of Schleswig. And actually, this might be the point in time now I've created this little mod and I'm immediately changing it. But actually, Schleswig was the very first duchy in Denmark, and actually it was created or named after the Herzöge in the empire. So he would have been Hertug Benedict. And I might actually change that now in the files again. So maybe just here for now. But Benedict will be this trendsetter. right, of rule and how to interpret it. We grant him that. I grant him that as a player. Toke does not as a as a person, but I grant him that. And now, yeah, he's able to, I think, distribute some of his lands. That's what he will do because he's way over his domain limit. What do we have here? Oh, back when you were but a little child, I'll always cherish those days, says my mother Signe, quite unprompted. Everything comes rushing back. I know that my father Skjalm was a foe to me as long as he lived. What? He recoiled disgusted from my first lost tooth. Right. Oh, I remember. There was this childhood event where... where Toke was like, look, father, I have lost a tooth. And he was like, yeah, I don't care. and he, oh yeah, he's vengeful. He is vengeful. Maybe he had forgotten about it at some point, and now his mother is reminding him of this, and he's like, oh yes, my father was actually an ass. I actually hated him because of this. Oh no, he recoiled, disgusted from my first lost tooth. He ridiculed my childhood love of dress up. Yes. Oh, this is just the best. This is the best. I love this. Thank you, wards and wardens. Yes, he also did the thing where he like went into his father's wardrobe and dressed up as him when he was like 8 or so. And we were like, stop this now. Ah, oh, I love it. I really love it. I should have what's owed to me, or perhaps I'd best cease dwelling on the past. You owe me your wealth. Why did you neglect me so? Such treatment is rightful. I'm not far from the tree. Huh? Because you're impatient. Let's come back to this. This would, of course, be a very arbitrary thing to do, right? Taking money that our mother does not even have. She's already at minus 50. Yeah, that's out of the question. We ask her why she did neglect us. She will have to respond. She agrees with us, or she offers something else instead. Then it would mean we would get a strong hook on her. Or we would actually say, well, now that I have my sons coming to me saying, Papa, when they're 4 years old, and they should have done this when they were like, I don't know, 2. I think he is reflected enough to think, hey, that is actually, well, maybe I can see the sense in it now. Let's just see. I'll just pick the die, just like the second and the third option. It's a 6. So we actually believe that, yeah, now thinking about it, I think he was actually right. I mean, what's there to say when your child shows you his tooth? What are you supposed to say? Are you gonna like, hey, wow, that's an accomplishment? That's not an accomplishment. Anyone can lose teeth. Anyone. Right. Okay. So we have kind of, yeah, he has resolved this conflict in his head. The grudges he held against his father are now resolved, and he thinks, yeah, he had a point. He actually had a point. We are in line to inherit titles, active elections going on in Denmark. Yeah, we are not allowed to do this in Denmark right now. But we will if we become the Jarl of Skjalm, for which we would need 250 gold. Yeah. We can go on a hunt. I think that is something he actually would do. Again, this is representation, right? We are nearing the 2-hour mark, so maybe that is a good point to kind of like, yeah, stop for today. Of course, we didn't play that much. I think it's only like 2 years, or almost 2 years into his reign, of the reign of Toke. But I'm trying to get, to get a hold of this character, trying to get a feel for him, trying to figure him out. Oh, Sarah has actually died from her wounds. Where was she wounded? Don't remember. Let's see if someone else could pick up the job. This Elizabeth here, she would be quite great at contribution to travel speed, but not that great at travel safety. But then Rangvi could also do it. Oh yes, we trust Rangvi greatly. She's our friend. And that's a woman has done this position before, and I think it is something that a woman could do in his mindset, right? Justly. Because it's not directly related to the court, it's something that happens outside of court, right? Traveling with someone. So yeah, that's great. Let's put her in this position. Something else we could do? Yeah. Yeah, maybe we could already appoint a Master of the Hunt. We have Manet, we can do this. And let's pick, whom do we give this honor? Again, I just not like to put too many titles on one person. So since Jirji here, we know that he is an accomplished tournament fighter. He won against our father, actually. And that was an honorable thing to do, right? That is something that we would not put against him. Quite the contrary. Oh. Oh, wow. Right. Let's just do this quickly. Appoint Jirji here. And now, Kare has come to us. We're like sitting in the hall, and he's like whispering in our ear, and then we just go to the, I don't know, other room. We are just in a one-on-one conversation, and he tells me that someone is plotting to kill me. The existence of the scheme is exposed. We must stop the villain behind this. Isn't that a good cliffhanger? Isn't that a good cliffhanger? Oh, I think we should see it. Ah, yeah, there it is. Currently at -5 out of a total 30% success chance, a 20% secrecy. It's likely that we find out more about who's the culprit here. Of course, we suspect the people that we don't like our sister. Then again, our sister is a brave person, and I don't think she would do this openly, risking also to be known as a kinslayer. I do not personally, or Toke does not think she would go that far. But what about him? What about Thorfinn? He's vengeful, and he's craven. So, backstabbing, going behind someone's back to get his revenge for whatever it is, for whatever slight he has perceived, might actually be something he would do. Then again, would not act out of just suspicion. We need to have proper proof in order to do that. But yeah, okay, this will be our main concern now. The murder scheme against us. So with that, I'll say I'll see you in the next episode, and yeah, cheers, bye-bye.